Okay, so here we go. Solar setup.
So, as you see, Mr. Derek, he's putting together the array, the back framing of the array.
Okay.
We use unistrut, anodized unistrut for that. It'll be sunk in 3 holes in concrete. This is actually, it's actually backwards and flipped the wrong way, but as to far of how it's going to be put into the ground. But we build the cage first, what we call the cage, or the frame of the solar panels. We'll sink those in the ground and encase it in concrete, and it'll look more like an array here in a little while. And it will be very strong when we get done with it.
Yeah.
At first, it's kind of like we attribute it to like wrestling a snake, because it's all flimsy and wobbly and
until you get all the
over.
panels on it, and then it tightens
Well,
up.
when you start putting in the cross members and we start triangulating it out, and then when we get done with it, you'll have to. I mean, when we get done with it, you won't be able to budge it. It won't.
Yeah.
It won't flex. It won't. I mean, it's very, very strong.
You're pushing a wall.
Yeah, it's like pushing on a wall of a house.
Yeah.
You just don't do it.
You just don't do it because
Yeah.
you know it's not going anywhere.
It can't go anywhere. No.
So cool. And then it takes you about 2 days to put the whole system in.
Yeah, we're hoping to be done. Sometime tomorrow.
Okay, cool.
We'll be back tonight. We'll leave tonight, and then we'll be back tomorrow morning. And then I'm cutting in the trench, just kind of cutting in the line right now.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
We're excited.
Yeah. Hey, it's it's very exciting to see, especially when we get done. It'll be really good. So I'll bring the batteries tomorrow. More. I got more batteries coming. And okay, I got another guy calling me about. So,
This is what happens when you're good at what you do.
well,
You're popular.
I do,
So how long have you been installing solar?
That's kind of a trick question.
Because I know you didn't install the solar on your house.
Well, I did. It just I had Shine because
Right.
So there was a company, and they were friends of mine. They don't do off-grid systems.
Oh.
So to be on TV, I said, "Hey guys, come on out and
Yeah.
you guys get started with your company."
Right, yeah.
I'll just take a sidestep. They're like, "Well, we don't know how to install off-grid systems." I'm like, "Don't worry, I'll show you how to do it. Like,
Yeah.
you do it, and I'll tell you.
Right,
Hook
connect-
this wire here." And if you look close, it's my hands when they're filmed up with real close shots. It's my hands putting in the wires, but I made it look like I asked the producer if he could just make it look like
They did the work.
And they did a good job. They're all right, those guys, but they don't do off-grid systems at all.
Yeah.
And
So everything they do is tied to the grid.
Yeah, they don't do any. They will do nothing of this.
Yeah.
They'll do only grid-tied systems.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So to answer your question, how long have I been doing this? I grew up off-grid. In fact, I was probably in 8th or 9th grade before I realized that most people that I knew didn't have some form of alternative energy, and i.e. like a backup generator or wind turbine or solar panel systems. And back then, solar panel systems weren't really anything. I mean, you'd have to spend, $10 grand to be able to turn on a light bulb back
Right.
then. It was terribly inefficient and didn't last long. You couldn't put any kind of critical loads on it. It was just, very much lights and fans and TV if you had the coin to do that. And so off-grid systems have come a long way since then. So, 30 years, but the technology changes.
Right.
So what we were doing back then has no bearing on what we do today. However, the basics or the foundation of the array facing south 32 degrees in our area, that's all relatively the same. So as long as you can build an array that has longevity and is fairly inexpensive, because I'm sure you've shopped around for ground arrays and they're, everybody's like, yeah, it's $20,000 for a ground array. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Exactly.
Like, what?
Yes.
It just doesn't make sense. Like, I can build a whole house for that. Why would that structure cost that much? But it's because the general public just doesn't know, and there's essentially there's people that are taking advantage of that situation. I find that those kind of people don't make it very long in this business, and that's okay. It's good for mine,
Right.
because it's like, well, it doesn't have to be. A lot of the structures and a lot of the ground mount systems that I see come from corporations. Well, those corporations are charging, 10 times the amount of what you can normally get the material for, as long as you're willing to put it together.
Right.
So I kind of find a happy medium. And a lot of people, that's the other thing. A lot of people, when they're setting up solar arrays, they use wood or marine grade. And it's like, why are you wasting your money?
Yeah.
I mean, don't waste it like that. I mean, I have found Unistrut. I mean, this stuff here, it's got a 1,400-pound failsafe. So, I mean, essentially, you can pull a Buick with it. I mean, you can hang a Buick from a ceiling, and it doesn't fail. They use this in industry. A lot of they'll use these to hang air conditioning or heating units.
Oh, okay.
The massive ones in huge warehouses, and this is what they use. Hollywood uses all Unistrut is like a thing. I've just adapted it to solar,
Right.
Because it will absolutely last forever. It's just crazy, the life of this stuff and how strong it is once it starts getting braced up. So,
Yeah, if you know how to put it together properly.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not really a secret, but it's kind of my secret, I guess. It's essentially like a young person's erector set.
Right.
So if
Yes.
you're good at putting
That's kind of what it looks like.
set, yeah. I mean, it's just an erector set on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yep.
So as long as you were good putting that stuff together and you understand basic geometry and math, it's not that hard.
Yeah.
But I say that, but I mean, other people are like, I don't know, man.
I don't know that I could figure. I mean, I
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
could figure it out, but I mean, it would take
Yeah.
me 3 times as long
Right.
than somebody who does it all the time.
So and then that's it. That's that.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys get back to work.
No problem. It's just been something that I've always just done. It's always just been, in one form or another, I'm helping people set up generator systems, helping people set up, just different arrays and answering questions. Nothing on a huge, massive scale.
Right.
But it's like
Like us.
as yourselves,
Yeah.
homesteaders and outlanders. You just. It's like, well, you put that wire there, and plug it in and go.
If only it was that simple for me
I
to
know,
figure out.
no. So
You have that talent. I do not.
well, yeah, but we all have our own talents, and it took me a long time to understand that knowledge base that was that God gifted me with was actually worth something.
Yeah.
Because in Northwest Arkansas, most people, you tell them you set up off-grid systems, and they're like, weirdo, what?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Just pay for it. We have money here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's fine, but
Not everybody has
not
money like
everybody
that.
has money, man. Like, that's cool.
Well, and if you can start with a smaller system and build up, why not?
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's, and that's kind of been the foundation of where I started, because that's how I would want to start.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I have preached that for my life. Like, man, you don't have to come in and have a McMansion. Let's start with this building, and then let's expand upon that, and then let's build another one as the money is available. And it's not even so much that, I'm in debt, or I don't have the money. You might have the money, but why get rid of all of your liquid assets all at one time, or a big chunk of liquid assets?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
Right.
So if you can start small and then you expand upon that, because there's a comfort level of going, yeah, I can have that when I want it, but just in case, I've got my assets over here free to take care of other business,
Right.
should it be necessary.
Yep.
And I figure if I'm that way, maybe there's other people like that too.
Yeah.
And as you see, I drive a 2000 Jeep Cherokee
With a cool paint job.
Yeah. So my son did that.
That's cool.
He's 10, and he was having a problem in math. Actually, they were teaching him Common Core, and his grades were slipping. And I told him, I said, look, here's the deal. I'm going to help you with your math, but I'm not going to teach you Common Core, because I don't know Common Core. I
Right.
don't know that. I'm going to teach you the way I know it, and because here's the deal. In industry and in business, they don't care how you get to the solution. They just want you to get to the solution the fastest way possible.
Correct.
And it's got to be right. Now, whether you do that longhand, whether you do that Common Core, or whether you ask Google, as long as you have the right answer in the fastest amount of time possible, that's all they're after.
Right.
Because time is money.
Right. Yes.
And if you're sitting there with Common Core going, well, you know, take this, add another column, 10 over here and 100, and divide that, and, you know, they're going to be like, yeah, there's the door, get out. And I tried explaining that to him. He's 10. You know, I said, look, you don't have to worry about any of that. All you got to know is the answer. And then there was a whole conference that I had with the principal and the teachers and stuff like that, but that's another story.
Yep.
I was right. I
Yeah.
got my point across, and they backed off of me. And when he was able to get his grades up because he was showing progression in math, I told him, I said, I'll let you paint Vader. That's my vehicle's name, Vader. Her name is Vader. In any way you want, and I don't care. And his grandmother, my mother, taught him how to paint using nature. So we went around to everything, all the different plants on my property that we own and where we live at, and we picked off plants, and then he would spray paint them.
That's cool.
So there's
Yeah, I don't know if you, I'm gonna get a little closer
Yeah.
so they can see. My grandkids will love this
I let
because
him choose the
they're gonna want to
colors.
do this to my vehicle.
So there's sulfur cinquefoil, which is a weed that is medicinal. There's a dead salamander that he found, and so we painted it. I wish this wasn't so dirty on the back, but you can kind of see. There's sassafras there.
Yeah.
Here's some blackberry bushes. There's some goldenrod there.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love this.
A lot of this is just the leaves. Like we have some oak tree. We have some oak
Oh,
trees
yeah.
here,
Yep.
right there, and then just random bushes that he would find. You know, and
That's cool.
we'd pick them off and then go, psh, 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 and then he just started adding to it as we went, and he got to choose. He's like, well, I want to do this color down here, and I'm like, well, it doesn't match, but okay, you know, I'm not gonna tell you any different.
That's cool.
And it gets me, I get more compliments on this paint
Oh, I
job
bet.
than I have any other vehicle I've ever owned.
I bet.
And I get at least one person a week ask me if they want to buy, if they can buy this vehicle, and I'm like, no, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yeah, I don't want.
My kid did that.
Yeah,
That's my
well,
kid's artwork.
You know, so, and I told him, I said, anytime he wants to change it, you know, he can. I'm not real dead set against it, you know, whatever, you know, as long as he's doing good in school and, you know, keeping up with his work and doing his homework, I don't care. And, you know, just, like I said, a lot of the different things that grow on our property to kind of represent home,
Yeah.
you know. And
That's awesome.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And,
What kid wouldn't love to do that?
right?
Yeah.
So,
It's a rolling art project. All right. Well, I'll let you guys get back to work. I didn't
Alrighty.
mean to interrupt you for so long.
no,
but
you're good. You're good.
record a little bit while we're sitting here.
So these are the charge controllers. These are 60 amp MPPT charge controllers. There's two of them produced by Sunny Sky out of Guangzhou, China. And these things right here, they are absolutely the bee's knees when it comes to charge controllers. They've really got it figured out.
Okay, and you are giving us two so that later when we add on,
You can expand
we
without,
can expand without having to add another one at that
is
time.
correct.
So,
Because right now, if you put in one, those 6 panels would max out that charge controller.
right.
And so you don't want to have a vehicle running, you know, 100 miles an hour. It's able to do it, but the life
Right.
expectancy drops dramatically when you run it at full capacity all the time.
Right.
So I like running things at about half capacity and kind of overbuilding. And then later, when you go to expand, you can expand as exponentially as you want.
Okay.
So
So we're kind of already set up for the next step.
yeah.
Cool.
We can add another 6 more, and that's when it maxes out both of them.
So when we can add up to 6 panels before it maxes out what we've got. 6 more panels.
Or you go up with voltage as well. You can go from a 24 volt to a 48 volt system. And then that ups the settings in the charge control of what it can handle.
Awesome.
So it's completely growable. Well, I wasn't thinking I was going to need my sunglasses. But
There is a bit of a glare today.
yeah, there is.
But that's where it's all going to go.
Yeah. So we'll get the other side cut in here in a minute. And
Awesome.
yeah.
Yeah, please keep the critters out.
Yeah, that's what we're after.
That's my greatest fear, truly, is opening that box for some reason and there being a snake in there.
Well,
I might have to stuff some stuff in the corners
Yeah,
because
in
I
the
see
corners.
daylight over there.
Yeah, in the corner, you can see daylight.
I can see daylight right there. I'm
Maybe
like,
some great stuff insulation or caulk even,
or
steel wool.
steel wool. I have plenty of steel wool. That's what I'll use. But yes, that's the one thing about living in the country.
That's what-
Hi guys, day 2 of solar install. It's a little warm today. Oh, it's a lot cooler than yesterday. And I've been working inside the storage container, organizing stuff, so I'm a little hot and sweaty. But I just thought I'd take a moment, come over, show you what they've gotten done between yesterday and a little bit this morning. There's more to come, and I'm going to keep videoing all day long. But I just wanted to show you kind of where they are now. We have really enjoyed watching them work. It's quite interesting, and the concrete has been poured, and so the solar panel array frame, that's the word, frame, is set up, and so you can see that there. It's kind of cool, and so it has to face solar south, not just south, but solar south, which, I mean, that makes sense, which I think is like 32 degrees, but don't hold me to that. I'm not quite sure what that means. But they've concreted it in, so it'll be nice and steady. And then they've run all the wires to the box where we'll have the batteries, the controller, the plugs, everything up by the RV, so we can hook up the RV when we get it here. So that's already somewhat, they're working on that right now, or they were. They are taking a little bit of a break right now. But I just wanted to show you guys a few things, what it looks like now, and then I'll catch some of what it looks like later. But I just thought this was really cool, so I'm just going to turn you around and show you a few things about what they're doing, what they have done, and where we go from here. So hang on just a second. Okay, so here you can see the concrete is setting, the array frame is set up. Took them most of yesterday to get this part done. They didn't work a full day yesterday, so it took about half a day to get this part done. They came in this morning, poured the concrete, set it in. The panels will go on here, and then we're getting I think 4 panels, and then 8 batteries. The nice thing is we can always add to it and create more power as we go. We just wanted to start basic. You know, we want to simplify. We don't want to run everything. We don't need everything. So just the basics. So this is where the wires will come into the panels, and then they dug a trench all the way up here, ran the conduit and the lines yesterday, got it all the way up to the box, which is right here. They're also adding in, which I thought was really nice, they're adding in a light. So it has a light switch, and it's going to have a plug. So we can come out, turn it on, and see outside in the dark at night, which will be great. They are setting up the deck box, the power box. So that's what it looks like right now. So there's 8 batteries and the 2 charge controllers. Panels are off the front of them, obviously. Charge controllers. And then the inverter has to go in there, and then should be good to go. So that's what it looks like. It's not wired up yet. That'll come later today. So you also put in some vents and critter screens so that keeps everything able to breathe and not get overheated, but hopefully no critters come in. I'm going to have to seal it up a little tighter because I don't want any critters of any kind, especially the snake kind. So that's where we are with the solar. Plenty of sun for the solar. The house, when we build the house, will be down there, so we'll just use the same solar connected to the house. So I just want to give you guys a quick update on what the solar's looking like. They're going to be done today, he says. So I'm excited about that. Chris is wishing he was here, but he can't be here today. He has to go to work, and so unnecessary thing. Go to work. Yuck. Whew. And we're going to have a light with a power plug in it, which is really nice. Nice little bonus. All right, guys, there you go. Well, guys, I was editing this video about our solar, and I realized that I had never gone back and shown you guys the panels that were final. So I thought, well, even though it's been a while since I videotaped that video, I would go ahead and bring it out today and show you, because the sun is fully bright, what our solar panels look like, and just a real quick add-on to what I had already videotaped previously. So we do have 4 panels. I said that in the previous video. So here's what they look like. There you are, 4 panels. It's really nice to have solar. So that's what they look like. And then this is what the bracing looks like. And when he said you can't move it, he meant you can't move it. Like, it is solid. I mean, it is cemented in, but it is still just solid. So here's what it looks like underneath. The plan is to add some rock, to put down some ground cover, and put some rock under here, so we won't have to worry about mowing or trimming or anything. There's each panel. Let's see if I can get this in here. I don't know if I can get there. Each panel has a connection there. And then so they all connect together. Then they all come down here like this, down there, and then they go up. You can kind of see the path where it's been cut into the box. So, as I said, I just realized as I was editing this that I hadn't come out here and shown you guys this. The day that I was planning on doing that, they actually didn't finish. And so I kind of just forgot all about it, I guess. But there you go. That's what they look like. All right. Thank you, guys. Love y'all. Bye.